Jo, I often look at things like social media and think it's actually getting to the stage of a public health crisis. What is going on? How bad is it out there for young people?
Hi, Ellie. I think it's important to stress that this Ofcom campaign is about empowering young people themselves to report if they find content distressing, hurtful, it makes them anxious. So, look, a similar number, 2/3 of teens actually said that they got a positive experience generally out of using the internet. So it's not all bad out there. But definitely there are things that they're seeing, viewing, that they don't like, and they're not really saying much about it. They're not perhaps telling an adult, they're not sharing it with somebody, and they're not reporting it. So this is really about encouraging them. If they find something be different for different individuals, they find something, hate crimes, abuse, something threatening or intimidating, that they should be able to report what they're seeing and sort of feel confident that they'll get some sort of result out of reporting it.
Well, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. What sort of things are we talking about? And is it the fact that a lot of stuff online that just wouldn't happen in the real world is getting scarily normalised?
I think to a degree that's true. I mean, what you don't want to happen with these, 13 to 17-year-olds and a little bit older is them to get desensitized to this sort of material or to find it acceptable, because that we're going into scary territory there for their emotional development moving forward. So it's certain things like violence, it's hate crimes, it's misinformation, it's that sort of thing. Anything that they find personally that it's distressing or they don't like, the temptation is just to ignore it. And I guess what we're trying to do here with this campaign is to say, you can be heard. You may not be an influencer as such, but your voice does have some influence, which perhaps will prevent other young people from seeing the same thing.
I mean, talking about influence of things, it seems to me there's something else going on beyond the violence and the hate crimes, the misinformation, and that's the pernicious creep of influence on young people for particular social trends, such as gender dysphoria, for example, becoming almost fashionable. Is that something as well that we need to be aware of when it comes to young people and the sort of content they're ingesting on a regular basis?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. So there is something fashionable, and it's a horrible word, about certain activities. For example, let's say self-harm. You will see people putting up, avoiding current regulations, but still managing to draw people in and talking about things like self-harm and almost making it something that young people want to do because it seems fashionable. That's really worrying. And that's the sort of thing, again, I feel, it's difficult when you're 13, 14, 15, I know, to be bold enough to say, I don't like this, I don't want to be part of it. But if it's making you feel uncomfortable and you feel it's wrong, then I think, this is where we're trying to encourage and empower young people to say, I don't like it, this shouldn't be on here. I shouldn't be having to see this. I should be having a really positive experience of, my online world. Having said that, as I say, 2/3 do feel it's positive, and we're not trying to sanitize the online world, just make it protect our children, I suppose, a little bit from what's out there.